Hi, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to May I Scraplift You? And today I am using a page from Weeping Willow Scraps. And I really like that page. It's really cool looking because it's got a lot of torn edges and everything. And torn pages I've done, but I don't do them all the time, and I don't do them often. So I thought I would go ahead and go with that one. So I am documenting our dogs basically. We no longer have the black dog. He has since passed, and we do have his sister, which is the black and white one, and they were from the same litter. And uh, let's see her. She will be 16 years old in August. So yeah, she's getting up there in age, and so I thought it'd be fun to document these older photos of them where they're adult dogs, but they're not really aged. So these are taken at a 4-H dog project meeting where the kids would go and learn how to do dog training. And so they're just fun photos. The dogs had been working pretty hard uh, with their commands and all that kind of stuff. So they're both panting in their photos, and that's why their tongues are out, and his tongue looks enormous in this photo. And I think part of that is the way the photo was taken, but also just he had a long tongue to begin with, but it looks extra long because of the way the photo was taken. So I decided to pull in that clover paper. I just had a half a sheet of it, and so I'm using it just as like a band across the center. And I tore up some black paper that was in my scrap bin just to give it that torn look edge. And you don't have to use like a whole sheet of paper or anything. Use the scraps. Nobody's going to know that it doesn't go all the way through underneath or all the way across. As you saw me do, I just pieced it together. It's a great way to use up your scrap pieces. And then that project life card or pocket page card, whatever you want to call it, it had some colorful arrows at the bottom, but I'm keeping this layout monochromatic, mostly green. It does have the cream and the black and the white, but those are neutrals to me, so it is definitely going to be kind of monochromatic with the greens. And the clover is one of the motifs that they use a lot in 4-H, so the clover paper works perfectly for this. And then I'm going to add some additional clover die cuts, or they are leftover pieces that I cut on my silhouette for another layout, which you may have seen if you watch my channel all the time. And so I always find it's very handy to keep those leftover bits and pieces, especially of stuff that you would normally use. Like I use the clovers quite often because it is like the 4-H symbol. And so keeping those in my little bin of black items worked really well because I could just come back and use them on another 4-H layout. And so I thought that would work perfectly. And I did keep this very simple, especially in comparison to the piece that I am scrap lifting. She has quite a bit more going on in the center of the layout, and I decided to go with a diagonal design. Part of the reason for that is because I really wasn't happy with the title anywhere else, so I decided just to stack it up here in the bottom right hand corner. And so that kind of made the decision for me that I kind of needed to go with a diagonal design. Now I had this lighter color green, it's more of a yellow based green paper. It's actually a 3x4 card as well as that piece that says hello on it, and so that's where I got that lighter green color from. And so I'm going to use that to back all of these little clover pieces. And in 4-H they do tend to use the 4-leaf clover, but this paper has 3-leaf clovers, but I'm kind of intermixing them because I do have some die cuts that are 4s and some that are 3s, and I don't think it matters. It just really just kind of adds to the story that this is a 4-H layout. So even though there's no people on it, they're not dressed in their 4-H gear or anything like that, it is just the dogs, but it was a 4-H meeting, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just go with that 4-H kind of logo. So I'm just going to continue to back these pieces. I'm using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I find it works really well. It goes on really thin, like a super narrow line, and so it doesn't really squish out of the die cuts or the cut files once you put them down. And if it does, it dries clear and matte, so it's not going to leave a shiny glossy finish or anything. So it works really well for backing cut files. It works well for adhering the foam that is adhesive on one side but not the other. So I just use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive for that. I use it for just about everything, and I really highly recommend it. Now that pocket card, you saw me cover it up with that green strip and more of that black torn edge paper to mimic what I already had going across the whole center of the layout, and I think that looks nice because it if I'm doing something like in one spot, doing it in another spot really just adds to the design, in my opinion anyway. So having a little bit more of that torn piece, I really like that. And it covered up those colorful arrows that were on the bottom of that card. So initially when I picked that card, I thought, well, maybe I'll put my title on there so it would say like Hello 4-H Dog Project. But then the thickers that I'm using were too big for the word project to fit on that card. And I'm using the chalk, they're like a chalkboard looking thicker. And the main reason I'm using that is because almost all of my other black thickers are out of A's or E's. So in this case, even this pack was out of E's, so I used a number 3 for my E. So and then I'm going to my bin of enamel dots, and I am trying to find some that I think would work well. Trying to use the ones up that are loose in the bin or in that little pocket thing before I go to the ring of newer enamel dots. So I had to go and pull in some black ones from the ring because I didn't have enough in the zipper pouch. So that's going to do it for this layout. It's pretty simple. I'll just add a little journaling and be done. Go check out everyone else who is playing along with May I Scraplift You. It's been an awesome series so far. I'm trying to do it the whole month, so come back tomorrow and check out what I've got for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.